Hey y'all, so it is Thursday, February 7th, and I am gonna sit and vlog, which I have not been doing good at. I'm just gonna be completely honest, I haven't been doing good at. But I think today I am going to do a reading vlog. Strictly reading. I need to schedule a 24-hour readathon, but I don't know if that is going to happen today because I'm not feeling well. I think I have a little bit of a bug, like a stomach bug. I don't know. I've been like having severe nausea. Like nothing crazy's happening, just like, and I've had a lot of new people, and so I'm just gonna say this. If you've been with me since or for a long time, y'all know I have Crohn's disease. You're probably sick of hearing me say that, but I've had new people come, and so why I started these vlogs mainly. My brother is playing the drums right now, so loud. My mama has endured it for 45 minutes. We all have. And at this point, she's about to take the drumsticks and probably shove them up his ass because it's time to stop. We're going to get the cops called on our ass. So the reason I started doing this is because of the health issues I was having 2 years ago. Well, I started having them 2 years ago, and then like a little over a year ago, I decided I was going to vlog my health journey. And you can definitely see my health journey. It's kind of funny for me to go back on my vlogs and watch from the beginning until now, because you can drastically see like weight changes in me, because like I have moderate to severe Crohn's disease and I have severe endometriosis. Crohn's disease causes you to be on a ton of steroids to try to decrease the inflammation. And I have been told that I've actually not been treated properly, because you're only supposed to be on steroids for 6 months at a time. I have been on steroids for 2 years. That is not what is supposed to happen. I should not. And I actually stopped taking them a month ago, just on my own, because they weren't helping. It's not healthy for my adrenal glands, pituitary glands. It's not good for my liver. It's not good for all of that. It's not good to be on steroids for a long period of time. And you can see me go from like sickly thin, like I mean thin to the point where I look dead, to kind of getting a little fuller, healthier. And then like just looks like I blew up like a balloon or like a blowfish, and my cheeks were like out to here, and it's like I was just swollen. That's all it was. It was just a bunch of steroids makes your skin swell, and it also makes your skin hurt. I would gain like 50 pounds in 2 weeks, and that is not a joke. That has happened, and it was strictly steroid weight, and because I wasn't eating anything. And when your skin expands that fast, your skin hurts. It hurts really bad. It kind of just feels like you've been repeatedly beaten with a belt. Like, if I could imagine, like, I have been hit with a belt on accident. Like, me and my brother were playing one time swords with our belts when we were, like, younger. He slapped the once across my back on accident. So I do know what that's like, but it feels like that like 80 times. Also, if you does it that fast, you get these like radical little stretch marks that I have right here, which also are kind of sore. Weird. And I've got them like on my legs, and I've got them like on my thighs. I've got them on my sides, and they're kind of just there. I don't know if, I mean, they're there. They get lighter when I lose weight. Like, they're not as purple and dark, but then when I start to gain weight back, it's bad. So like you guys probably saw, like if you've been with me since the beginning, like I said, I went from being like sickly thin to healthier weight to puffy as back down to a good weight, and then I look sickly again. And it's because I was getting sicker, and I've never really been completely off the steroids. What happens is I go from taking like a really high dose, like 5 times a day, or having it through my IV for like 2 weeks straight, to only taking like 1 steroid of a small dose a day. You just kind of see that process of me. And like right now I'm getting a little smaller in my face, especially because, you know, I'm not as swollen. And the thing is, like, you gain steroid weight quickly, but you also lose it pretty quickly. Like, not as quick as you gain, but it doesn't take, like, years to get it off. Or, like, at least for me, because I'm younger, my mom was on steroids for, like, years. And it took her about 5 years to get her steroids. She's still working on it, actually. But that's because she was on it a hell of a lot longer than me. And the steroids actually did shut down her system. Her kidneys, her pituitary and adrenal glands, everything. So they are dangerous if you take them that long of a period of time. I don't know why I got talking about my weight. I guess I just felt the need to talk about that and show y'all kind of my stretch marks, because I'm very self-conscious about it, especially when I get new subscribers, because like if I like raise my arm or something in a way, or like do anything like that, you can see, like there's times where I'm editing and I can clearly see them, and then I'm worried that people are gonna be like, what is that, because I've had like people ask me randomly on the street like, oh my god, what's wrong with your arms, did you like cut yourself up like that? And I was like, no. I was like, and would you really go up to a person and ask them that? Like, that's kind of rude, but it's happened many times, so I'm very self-conscious about that. That is that. Maybe I felt the need to explain my weird weight fluctuations too. I don't know. I don't need to explain anything, honestly, but I just feel like I should. But that's all for the health talk right now. I don't really want to get into any more of it, but I am going to read, and I want to do a 24-hour readathon soon, and so does my mama, but we just have to plan it out. Right now, I think I'm going to do a weekend reading vlog, and it's Thursday night, so it'll be a longer weekend reading vlog, but I still have to do school and everything. Like, school is something that is always going to be present right now because I'm enrolled full-time, so I'm going to be busy with it. But tonight, I think I strictly want to read. Yeah, and I have a lot of things that I want to read. I have some thrillers, I have fantasy, I have everything that I want to read everything. I want to read everything. I'm really wanting to read some fantasy, but I'm just not sure which fantasy I want to get into. So I have The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. This is the first book in the Mistborn trilogy, and it is an adult fantasy, and I have never read an adult fantasy, and I think I'm a little nervous too and intimidated, because every time I like go to pick it up, I get a little scared. So hopefully I can get through it though. And then I also have Red Sister by Mark Lawrence, and this is another big adult fantasy book, and it's about badass nuns according to Emily Fox. And that just sounded really amazing to me, so I went ahead and ordered this off Book Depository. I'm one of those people that will order something from a different country if the cover is prettier than the American version. So this is the UK cover. I don't like the American cover. I think it's ugly as sin. So I also have been reading The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. I am about 70 pages into this, and so far it's kind of just meh. I don't really have a lot of feelings about it. Dogs barking. Perfect. And then the last book on my TBR for this weekend, of course we know I'll add more because I'm me, is Saw Kill Girls by Claire Legend. Or Legrand. Why did I say Legend? I don't know. This is something that I am dying to read, and I really, really hope I can get to it soon. And it's kind of been calling my name, so maybe. Should I be reading more lovey-dovey books since Valentine's Day is coming up? Maybe. Am I going to? No. I don't like watching like lovey-dovey movies. I like romantic comedies, but not like the purely like drama romance, like The Notebook and fall asleep every time I watch that movie. Please don't unsubscribe to me because I said that. I've lost friends from that statement. And I'm not really into a lot of lovey-dovey books unless I am hella in the mood for it. I like some good smut, but I don't like the cringy kind. All smut is cringy. Sorry, disregard that. YA romance is so cringy to me. Cringy as no. But that is kind of what I have planned in my brain for what I want to read this weekend. So I think oh wait, there's one more. Might pick up Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Nig too. So maybe, we'll see. Those are all of them. Not going to be reading all of these this weekend, by the way. There's no, but we'll see how much I can read. And hopefully it's a good reading weekend because I desperately need to get out of this reading slump that I'm in because it's bad and nasty and I'm ready to get done. I'm ready to be done with it. I have not read hardly anything this year. I have read nothing but purely smut and a Stephen King. Oh, you know what? Stephen King. Sorry, just adding things to the TBR list because I'm me and I don't think anybody expects anything different from me. I could start something from Stephen King. I normally always have a Stephen King book going, and I do. I have It by Stephen King going right now. Maybe I could read Mr. Mercedes. That sounds kind of good right now. I'll let y'all know. I'm gonna see which book I'm gonna read first, and I'll just pick up the camera again when I'm actually really into a book, so that way you guys don't have to deal with me going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and being just an obnoxious about it all. So yeah, I will just update y'all later. Bye. Hey y'all, so I just wanted to do a little bit of an update. It is the same day But it is 9:30 in the evening and I'm just sitting in my den reading, and I have actually decided to read The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. I'd already started this. I was like, I think 50 or 60 pages in, and I was like, you need to finish the books you start, because I have the worst habit of starting books and never finishing them. So like, have It right now by Stephen King. I'm like 400 pages into that book, and it's just so long, and some of it, like, oh my god, the first couple hundred pages is just backstory and kind of just boring. So you have to really get through that, and I'm just having a hard time with it. I've been reading that book for the longest time, and one day I'm just gonna sit down and read it and just bite the bullet and do it. And I want to do it before part 2 comes out, because I just do. Yeah, and then, oh my god, and then Shadow and Bone. I started that book too at the beginning of the year. I got halfway through it, haven't picked it up. I don't think I will this weekend, because I just don't think I'm in the mood, but I don't know why I put that down, to be honest. I think school started and I just forgot, but definitely gonna stick with this tonight. I love this cover, by the way. I think it is so pretty. Like, I'm obsessed with it. I'm on page 112 or 113 actually, and I'd really love to sit and just finish this tonight. That would be amazing if I could just sit in this recliner and completely solely focus on reading this and finishing it. That would be a really good start to the reading weekend that I have planned, because I mean, it's Thursday night, and then I'd have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to read even more, so that would be perfect. Yeah, my thoughts on this book so far: I really love the concept so far. I think that it's a good idea, and I went into this book knowing absolutely nothing. And I feel like that's a good thing to do with her books, because I did the same thing with In a Dark, Dark Wood, and just kind of slowly discovering what the book is about is so amazing to me. I hate reading synopses, to be honest, because to me they set up this like expectation that I have in my head that isn't always what the book actually is, but then I get disappointed. So I actually don't like to read synopsises. So that's why if you ever hear me like doing book hauls on my channel or just talking in wrap-ups, I don't really talk about the synopsis. I just talk about my thoughts, mainly because if I don't like hearing the synopsis, I guess I just assume that other people don't, which is not right to assume that, but I should probably start getting into the synopsises a little bit more. But the concept is interesting. I'm really intrigued by it, but I was in the first book too that I read by her, In a Dark, Dark Wood. I was very intrigued by it. I wanted to know more. I was in love with it, and then halfway through it lost me, and it was just an average read at that point. Took like a wrong path, or maybe some writing decisions that I didn't agree with, and these characters, I swear to God, in her books are so stupid. I just sometimes just want to shake them. Like how you do when you watch a scary movie, like those times when you're watching a scary movie and the character does something so outrageously dumb that either gets them killed or trapped or tortured, you know, it's like, why did you do that? Like, it's just like, and they have these options, like to do something, like they first of all, on A Dark, Dark Wood, the character could have left the whole situation and everything would have been fine, but no, she had to stay. This situation is a little different. She's on a boat. I don't see how she can get out of this. I mean, she maybe could tell somebody she wants to get off the boat, and maybe they could like detour and get her off the boat onto an island and she could fly out somewhere. I feel like that would be appropriate, because if she had a family emergency or something, they couldn't just keep her hostage on that boat. You know, it's not like they couldn't drop her off somewhere. So I feel like there's still a way for her to get out of this, but she just chills out, stays. She's like, I do it for my career. And I'm just like, career? There's a psychotic, crazy person on this boat. Get out. Like, but whatever. And there has been a couple things that have annoyed me.
My ass.
Do you almost
Jack's
fall?
blanket.
One thing has really pissed me off.
Sorry.
Literally interrupted again.
I thought. We're not gonna do it on camera.
No, something that's pissed me off in this book really badly was, so the main character, Laura, was trying to get back into her cabin, and you know, that's on the boat. They all in like individual cabins on the boat, and she was trying to get in, get her key out from underneath her like bra, because a lot of women do that. I do that. And she was trying to find it, and I guess she has an ex-boyfriend on the boat, and they aren't together now though, and she's in a different relationship now that kind of ended on rocky terms before she went on the boat, but I mean, I don't think it's over necessarily. So he is like, sees her struggling to find a room key, and he was like, hey, do you want help? And being sleazy, they're both drunk, and he like reaches his hand all the way down her dress and grabs her boob like so aggressively, and it was gross, and I think thought he was being sexy and erotic, and it was just not that. And she kicks him in the balls for it, and which I was so happy about, because I was like, good, kick him in the balls. That was so not okay. He just assaulted you. You were telling him no, like so many. Mom, quit making those noises. She ends up kicking him in the balls, and then the next thing I know, they're freaking in her cabin talking. Are you kidding me? She invited him in the cabin and told her, opened up to him about all the she's been going through the past few weeks, and I'm just sitting here like, really? I know he's your ex-boyfriend and everything, but he did just kind of like molest you, like maybe not invite him in. And then she's like, I'm sorry for kicking you in the balls. This is why I did it. Like, I had something traumatic happen to me a week ago. Like, that's how the book opens up. Something really crazy happened to her. But don't justify kicking him in the balls. Your reason for kicking him in the balls is because he grabbed your boob. Like, that's why you kicked him in the balls. Not because you had a traumatic incident, but because he grabbed you. Like, I was just annoyed that she spent so much time crying, saying she was sorry, and justifying her actions for that when I didn't feel like crying, sure, I can understand. But she was crying because she hurt him. Really? No. Good. I hope it hurt. And like, he was icing his balls and shit, which was funny. I was annoyed by that whole scene. I was just pissed off. I was like, okay, fine. Justify your actions, whatever. Like, it's not like he didn't touch you unwantedly, but whatever. And also, like, she's an unreliable character in this book. How many times have we had those in thrillers? A bajillion times. She's not an alcoholic necessarily, but she was drunk, like, on this trip, on this particular night, and it was so she could try to get some sleep, because she has been having some PTSD and night terrors about the thing that happened to her at the beginning of the book. So I just, like, I don't know, I just feel like that's why she was drinking, but I don't think she makes a habit out of doing it, but she still is labeled as an unreliable character because something's already happened on the boat, nobody's believing her, and it's just kind of frustrating, because I read about this in almost every other thriller that I read, and I just wish that kind of would die out, because it's just kind of, it's worn down. It's a really, like, it's just one of those trends that need to go away. That is all I'm going to talk about now. This is an 8-minute clip, but I did want to update y'all on what I was reading, and then the next time I update, I am hoping, like, I might update if something crazy happens to the book and I want to talk about it, but hopefully I don't pick up the camera until maybe towards the end of the book. So I will update y'all later. Bye. Hey y'all, so I am about ready to put on my eyebrows in here because I forgot them. I was doing my makeup in the den. Reason why was because I'm having heart issues right now, and my heart has always like beat really fast, and it's just beating extra fast right now. My new addiction. But I wanted to kind of talk in here real quick. I know I look crazy. I've got like big on and everything. I actually wanted to tell y'all, I know that I've been vlogging yesterday, but I did not vlog this just because it was kind of in a panic and I didn't have time to. I had to go to the emergency room last night, and it's not for what I normally have to go to the emergency room for, which is my Crohn's. I normally always have to go to the emergency room because of Crohn's disease, but last night it was my heart. So I was sitting down last night relaxing, and all of a sudden I kept gasping for air and my chest was hurting, and I didn't understand why, and I could feel my heart rate. I was sitting completely still, but it's, you know, that feeling you get when you have to like sprint, or when you're in gym and you have to like do the 1 mile or something. Me talking right now or doing any sort of activity makes my heart do that, including just sitting down doing nothing. I mean, I was reading, like, and there's no reason my heart rate should have done that. And I know the book I'm reading is a thriller, but I've read tons of thrillers before and my heart's never done this. And it wasn't even at like a crazy part. It was literally a scene where they were describing something. Like describing the scenery of something. So it wasn't like it was triggering or whatever. My mom checked my heart rate and it was 150. So that's obviously bad. And so I went to the hospital because my resting heart rate shouldn't be 150. We went and I had to get medicine to like calm my heart down. I didn't have to stay, obviously, thank God. But it was just, and I knew I wouldn't because I've had to do this before where I just have to go and get my heart under control to where it's down in the 90s at least. Mine was like, by the time I left, 95 to 105. That was better than 150. And when I got in there, it was really high too. They just had to give me some medicine. They gave me like Ativan, which made me out. Like it made me so sleepy. Then they gave me ibupropanol, which I used to be on propanol all the time, but it's a beta blocker and it made my blood pressure drop a lot. But that's only if I'm on it long term. That's kind of what happened. Just wanted to tell you all that. I'm gonna have to go sit back down though because I'm already sweating because my heart's beating so fast. I don't know what's going on with it. Hoping I don't have to go back today because it's doing the same thing as it did yesterday, but I'm not having to gasp for air, which is good. Breakfast at Tiffany's and bottles of bubbles. Girls with tattoos who like getting in trouble. Lashes and diamonds, ATM machines. Buy myself all of my favorite things. Sorry, I love that song. I think that's all I need to do in here. It's just looking for something to bring into the den. I think my eyebrows are okay. They look okay. They look better. I just wanted to update you guys on last night, why I didn't finish my book and why I didn't vlog again last night. I have some Snapchats of me in the hospital that I didn't post because I was high on Ativan and I didn't know if that would be a good idea to post. I decided I would look at it when I wasn't high on Ativan and then show y'all. But I'm gonna go back in the den, get ready. I'll show y'all what I look like after, and I will see y'all later. Bye. Hey y'all, so it is Friday, February, I'm not sure what day it is.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
Hello.
Hey, I think it always bothers me when I don't know what day it is. I think it's the 8th. Yeah, it's the 8th, February 8th, and it is 6:30 in the evening. And y'all know what happened last night. I've told y'all earlier. So reading vlog weekend starting off strong. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to read tonight or if I'm going to do some school. I should probably do some school. So I think I'm gonna do some of that real fast. Mom!
Sorry, I thought I was muted.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do some Texas government. And yeah, I think that might be it. Maybe some English composition. Actually, I've got so much to do. I might be spending a night doing school. So, cause I didn't do it yesterday. Got my laptop, my Chromebook, and I'll just show y'all what I do here in a second, what I'm going to do. Cause I know some people, or a lot of people actually, have been asking me, DMing me about involving school more in my vlogs. So reading weekend plus doing some school. I've got a bin here with all my school stuff. Why I got dressed up is because I went went to Cracker Barrel, and yeah, then we came home. Tomorrow is going to be kind of a busy day because we're going to have family day. Haven't been to family day. I haven't gone out with my family on the weekend in a little bit because I've been busy or not feeling good. So I'm going to go tomorrow. We're going to go to the movies. We are gonna eat. We're gonna go to Best Buy, Barnes & Noble, so that'll be fun. So I'm gonna get my Texas government book out, which just looks like this. I've gotta read chapter 3, right here. I've gotta do the PowerPoint notes, so I gotta do that tonight. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my Texas government notebook and folder out and the book. And then I also need to do some English comp. So I'm gonna get those out. And my English composition book right here. I don't know what chapters I have to read in that next. And I also need to read for my women's literature class. So I think I might read that story tonight. I have to read from the Great Short Stories by American Women. Need to get this out too. I got a lot to do. I'll just show y'all when I sit down here in a second and get started on all of it. And my board's behind me that I write stuff on. I've got due Sunday. I've got to do a discussion post in English, and then I have a quiz in government. So, and then with my women's lit class, I don't have things due till Monday, and Tuesday. So it's not like I have to do that tonight, and I still might not. I might do that tomorrow night. But I do want to read it tonight, so I don't want to spend all night doing this. Sometimes I get like really like, I start it and then I don't realize that I've spent like 4 hours on it, and then I need to go to bed. So I'll try not to do that tonight. No promises, but yeah. But that's all right now. I'm gonna go get started. So I will see y'all later. Bye. Hey y'all, so I actually decided that I'm going to read a little bit right now. I can do school tomorrow. I haven't given myself the opportunity in weeks to just sit and read. So I'm going to give myself that and just work really hard tomorrow when I get home. And it's not due till like by midnight on Sunday. So I know that I'll have all day and all day on Sunday to do it. And if I want to do some later tonight, I will. And it's not like I'm super behind. Like I just have to read a little bit, like not a ton, so I'm not really worried about it. But I really want to give myself time to read. I never get to do that, so that's what I'm gonna do. Like I said, in a couple of hours, if I really want to do it, I'll do it. It's only 6:30, so, but right now I really want to read. So I'm gonna read more of Woman in the Window and tell y'all what I think, and yeah, I will just update y'all later. Bye. Hey y'all, so it is, not even sure what day it is. Saturday. It's Saturday, February 9th, and I just got back from going to Barnes & Noble, and I got some books and they're up on my bed. So I wanted to show y'all what I got. So I was gonna get In an Absent Dream by Shauna Maguire, and they did not have it there. So I'm gonna have to order that online. But I did grab On the Come Up by Angie Thomas, and I'm so excited to have this because this is not a continuation of The Hate U Give, I don't think, but it's in like the same universe. So yeah, so I'm really excited to read this. This is about a up-and-coming rapper, and I loved The Hate U Give so much. So, and I was so late in the game in reading that, so I definitely want to read this soon because it's, I mean, just came out. So, and I just love Angie Thomas's writing style, and I just love her writing style. So I'm excited to read that. And then the next book I got is We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. I've never read an E. Lockhart book, and a lot of people say they're pretty average. Like that's the main review I get with that, but this is a pretty short book, so I figure it would be good maybe to read this weekend. I do have to do school, and it's Saturday evening, and I haven't finished The Woman in Cabin 10, so I will be finishing that before the weekend is up though, and then I might start this one because it's short. Then the next book I got is A 99% Mine by Sally Thorne, and this is the woman who wrote The Hating Game. I thought that book was okay. My mama loved that book, but it wasn't my favorite. I think I gave it a 4 or a 3.5, but I thought I'd get this because I didn't hate it. I liked it. I enjoyed it, so I thought maybe I would get a book that might be somewhat enjoyable, and maybe I'll love this one. So not sure what it's about. I'm definitely maybe gonna read this like on Valentine's Day or something. I might do a 24-hour readathon on Valentine's Day. We'll see. I probably won't read very gushy books because I don't like those. And the last book I got was The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager, one of the two. This I have heard really good things about, so I really, really, really am excited to read it. And it's an adult thriller. Like, you know, still don't know what it's about. Don't have the slightest don't have the slightest idea what it's about. So, but that's how I like going into my books. So I just have heard good things about this from like Kayla from Books and Lala, and there was 2 more of my booktubers who read it, but I cannot name them at the moment. But I saw this and I was like, oh my god, I need to get that. And another book I was looking for while I was there was Radio Silence, and I couldn't find that either. So I'm gonna go online and order some books real quick. So yeah, but that's the haul that I have. I'm gonna start school. I'll show y'all what I'm gonna do here in a second, and then yeah, I'll just keep y'all updated. Bye. Hey y'all, so it is a little while later. Actually, it's like 2 or 3 hours later, or more. I don't know, honestly. I know we got home around like 4:30, and I know that it's 8 o'clock, I think. Yeah, it is 8:45. And I've been working on school ever since we got home, and I never ended up showing you guys what I was doing. So sorry about that. I just forgot. Honestly, I got in the mode that I get into with school, and a lot of the times I just forget. But I had to take notes for my government class. I read the chapter, took notes. Then I had to take my weekly quiz in that class. And then I had to do 2 English Composition 2 assignments. So one was just like answering questions, like 10 questions that I had to like write out and then answer written. There was no multiple choice or anything, which is fine. And then I had to do discussion posts. So on my research topic, did all that. So I'm done for the weekend. I might do some stuff tomorrow night and to get a start for next week. But I am going to start reading again The Woman in Cabin 10. So I'm on page 126, and I would love to finish this before the weekend is out. I'm going to spend a lot of time reading this tonight. It's 8:45, and I think we're going to church tomorrow. So yeah, I have to get up tomorrow morning. But I'd love to read more of this tonight because I'm obsessed with it. But right now I have to take a shower. My hair is disgusting. I've got to shave and all that. And then when I get out of the shower, I will start reading this. And I think I'm going to read in the den. So yeah, pretty sure that's where I'm going to end up tonight because I don't want to be in my room anymore. I've been in my room for like 4 hours. So I'm ready to be done with that. So I'm going to sit in my chair and read my book. And I honestly just want to sit and read right now, but I have to go to church tomorrow morning, and I hate waking up in the morning and taking showers. I'm not a morning person, so I like to do all my showers and everything, preparations at night, because I'm a night owl and it's more likely to get done tonight than it is tomorrow morning. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, but I will update y'all later. Bye. Hey y'all, so I am still reading The Woman in Cabin 10, and I am about 45% of the way through this book. I'm on page 152. And I'm really liking it so far. I'm really liking it, but every single review that I've read, except one, says that about 70% of it gets really crazy and just too crazy. So I'm trying not to let other people's thoughts and opinions invade my head and everything, and I don't read reviews while I'm like reading a book because I don't like want the other people's thoughts in my head. But the thing is, this book has been out for a long time, and because of that, I've watched reviews on it. I've read reviews on it for the past couple of years, and so I've already know what a lot of people think of this book. And so far, I absolutely just think it's fascinating, all of it. I have some hunches. I think the main character is an idiot. I mean, like a plain dumb ass idiot. Like I'm not trying to be mean. It's just a fact. Her decisions in this are astounding to me. Like a decision she just made. I can't even begin to explain why she made this decision, and it just has irritated me beyond belief. I just don't know. There is a character in this that I do think might have done this, but I feel like it's an obvious choice. I feel like it's obvious that this character, I feel like, because, you know, normally there likes to be a big twist, but there has been times when I've been like, oh, this is an obvious choice, but then there's other people who didn't see it, and then it ends up being the ending. So I don't know, maybe it's obvious to me and not other people, and maybe that's how this will end. But I'm getting nervous because I'm getting farther and farther into the book, and I'm really liking it right now, and I'm just nervous that I'm not going to. But I could be like a rare person who likes the entire book, and I'm not a person who tries to fit in with the crowd. My mom is singing. I can't tell if she's not done. She's done. Nope, she's not. I'm not a person who's like tries to fit in with the crowd. I have had like, I've read a book where I have literally been the only person to love it, or I have literally been the only person to hate it. I feel like The Cruel Prince is a good example of that. I do not like that book at all. Aristotle and Dante, do not like that book. If you haven't seen my worst books of 2018 video, I'll link it down below, but there were so many books in that video that were popular books that everyone loves and I hated. So it's not like if I love this book, I'll tell y'all. If I absolutely love it, give it 5 stars, I'll give it a 5 stars. Like, I'm not going to be like, well, since all these other people didn't like it and I loved it, I'm just going to say I didn't. That's not me. So I won't do that. And like I said, I'm really trying to not let people get into my head. And some people say it's a really weird ending. I like weird. I really, really like weird. So I could thoroughly enjoy this, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm just trying to get through this because I'm nervous. So I'm gonna really sit and read this and do the best I can to try to finish it, maybe even tonight. I don't know if that'll happen, but I'd love for that to happen. So then I could start a book tomorrow. I'd like to start We Are Liars tomorrow by E. Lockhart. I'd love for that to happen, so we'll see. But I will update y'all later. Bye. Hey y'all, so I have finished The Woman in Cabin 10. It is like 4 in the morning. I am so tired, but I finished this because I was determined to finish it tonight. Mainly because it was so good. Okay, I already told y'all that I was worried about not liking this because of so many reviews that said the ending was not good, and I 100% agree with them. The first, I'm gonna say 70 to 80% of this book is amazing. I was so obsessed and intrigued and also scared of just this entire book. I was so in love with it, and I thought for sure that I was going to be the one person that absolutely loved everything about this book. And then the ending was just so disappointing. I just was like, the reveal wasn't surprising. I'd actually been suspecting this, and at one point I told you guys that I had an idea who was behind this. It turns out that the suspicions I had, which I'm not going to get into the details of that because it's all spoilers, I was right. And I told y'all, I was like, I don't think that's right though, because it's way too obvious, but that's what I feel like it is, and that's what it was. And then I thought, okay, fine. Maybe the first reveal was obvious, but then maybe at the last like 5 pages, there's going to be this like crazy twist, and maybe it'll make it better. But that never came, and it really just upset me because I just expected something to be like taken up a notch, or for it to be just a spectacular ending, because the majority of it was a spectacular book. It was set up with good potential, but then it just didn't fulfill what I had hoped it would. So that's really, really sad for me because I did like this book so much, and the ending just ruined it. That's what happened in The Dark, Dark Wood as well, and apparently that happens in The Lion Game. So I'm preparing for that, but maybe I'll like it. I will say that as I'm reading Ruth Ware's books, each book gets better. This book was far better plot-wise, far better characters, far better writing, everything. She just needs to work on her endings, for sure. Endings need some work. I do like some things in the book. I like the mental health talks about taking antidepressants and how there is a stigma behind people who take antidepressants, and how it is not a bad thing to take them, and how they're very helpful. I am on antidepressants. It was very hard for me to read about Laura, the main character, because she has severe anxiety. Sorry, the TV made a weird noise, and I'm a little paranoid right now because of the book I just read, so I kind of freaked out. But I'm on antidepressants, and it was hard for me to read about Laura because of the anxiety attacks that she'd have. I've been having panic attacks since I was 6 years old. The main character started when she was about 13, 14. But her describing them is very similar to the kind that I have. It was a little triggering to listen. I would start to get a little nervous. My skin would feel a little tingly, but I got through it. But yeah, so I completely related to that sense that I do know what it's like to have panic attacks. I know what it's like to feel trapped by them. And I've been through behavioral or cognitive, or what is it called? Cognitive behavioral therapy. Been through that. Doesn't help me personally. Went for like years, and it's just something that doesn't help. I am on medication. I'm trying to find the right strength and everything. This one that I'm on is the best one that I've been on, but it is something that I do need. I find if I even go a couple days without it, I am a wreck. Anxiety ridden wreck. Can't function wreck. There is a bad stigma behind antidepressants. There always has been. I used to not tell people that I was on them because I remember mentioning it to people about like, oh yeah, well, antidepressants aren't that bad, and people would be like, no, it just means you're crazy. And I would just shudder at that and just be hurt and embarrassed and feel dumb for having this horrible anxiety and depression and feeling alone and feeling like I was the only person that had these problems, because everybody else said that, you know, a person who has an anxiety attack, like I swear, I used to have them. I probably used to have them about 5 times a day. And that's not an exaggeration. My mama was there with me. They were that bad. And I always got told I was faking. Then that I wanted attention. And I don't know how anybody could fake a panic attack. And I don't know why anybody would want to fake one, to be in that state of mind where you're so afraid. Where my mental capacity when I'm having a panic attack is I'm in a completely black room and there's no windows and there's no doors, and it's my responsibility and job to build a window, to build a door, and get myself out, because I feel like I'm just getting closed into a room or a space and that I can't get out and that it's suffocating me. And that's not easy to fake. I don't know, it's just difficult. But also another thing that she said that I really liked was that she's never had anything like crazy bad happen to her, but she still has depression and anxiety. It's like, it's I don't know if it's depression. I think it's just anxiety for her. I have depression too, and like OCD, PTSD. I have had traumatic things happen to me. My mother had a really bad health incident. Her spleen and appendix ruptured. She lost over half of her blood supply when I was 6. That's when this started. And it was horrible. She almost died. So, but I've also had a ton of death in my family. I've had friends die. A lot of friends die. And it's just kind of, death scares me, basically. And I've got mild agoraphobia too. But I have amazing parents. I had a great childhood. And I wasn't like, and I'm so weird with my grades and stuff and with my schooling. Like, I feel like I have to be perfect. I've never had any sort of pressure on me to be perfect. I got like a D once in high school because I just really struggled with a subject. It was geometry. And my parents just hugged me and told me it was going to be okay, and told me that this D didn't define my life, that it was a grade. But I was hard on myself. I did this to myself. So I've never had anybody pressure me, and she said that, but I still have this. Now, she hasn't had like the near-death experiences with her family, and she hasn't had all the funerals that I've had with friends and family. She hasn't had all of that. Yes, and I have had that. That's where the PTSD comes in. She's gonna have some PTSD after this, but basically she's just saying that not every person that has a serious, anxiety disorder or depression has come from a horrible home life. That's not true. That's just a false stigma. I feel it's a myth. It's not true. Not every single person who has a mental illness comes from a bad home. It's because I don't. I come from a really great home. I'm 21 years old and I still live with my parents, mainly because it's hard out there. I'm very sick and I just don't have the means or the physical health to go out and get a job and work right now. Getting better, but regardless, if I didn't have a good home life, I wouldn't be here still. I just felt like that was so true and accurate to say, that sometimes people are just born with this, and I truly feel like that's how I am. I feel like whether these things happened or not in my life, I feel like I would still have this, because my mom has said ever since I was a baby, I have been a little anxiety-ridden little girl. I have always been worried about things. I've always carried the weight of the world on my shoulders. I feel like everything is my responsibility. When I was like 5 years old, I used to sit and think about all the little kids in Africa and how I was going to get famous one day or be a rich doctor and be able to go and feed them and build them houses. And I used to worry about that all the time. And it's like, if it wasn't something in my house or that had to do with my life, I would find something to worry about. Just the whole mental illness talk in this really, really, really resonated with me. And it was my favorite part about this book, honestly. Just like really, really just showing the truth about it and how I felt like I related to it a lot. But it was such a good book. I'm gonna quit talking. I'm gonna start something tomorrow. This is gonna be the longest vlog. It's probably gonna be like over 40 minutes, but it's been a long time since I've talked to you guys. And you know, grab a snack or, you know, watch it throughout the week. And yeah, but I'm gonna go to bed now. I've got to get up and go to church tomorrow. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. And I will show y'all which book I start tomorrow. So I will see y'all later. Bye. Hey y'all, so I just wanted to end this vlog. It is Monday night and I did not vlog at all on Sunday because I spent so much time doing school. I did want to say that I started We're Liars by E. Lockhart. I got to page 42 last night, so I did start this. I'm going to continue it, and I'm actually going to start another vlog soon, but this vlog is over 45 minutes, so I'm going to make this really short. To wrap up what I read The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. It's the only book I read, and then 42 pages in E. Lockhart's We Were Liars. So, I hope you all enjoyed the vlog. Please subscribe if you would like to, and like this video, and yeah, I will see y'all in the next one. Bye!